Ladies and gentlemen, the Dean of Northeastern University School of Law, Jeremy Paul.
Good afternoon, everyone. I bet you thought this day would never come. Ms. McCain, Provost Bean, members of the Board of Trustees and the corporation, faculty, adjunct faculty, graduates, staff, families, and friends, welcome to the 2016 commencement exercises at Northeastern University School of Law. Above all, welcome to the class of 2016. You have successfully completed the most challenging and relevant legal education a law school can provide. And I'm not talking about deciphering when the law school charter calls for a community council meeting. Having navigated your way through 4 co-op experiences and a challenging curriculum, you are prepared to be nimble as you embark upon the life you can expect, one of constant change from one job to another. Notice how I slipped in that you will indeed not just have one job, but many. All evidence shows that your law degree will open employment opportunities we cannot yet imagine. And all accounts are that the current job market for law graduates is growing stronger every day. I could not be more bullish on your future, unless maybe you were the Boston Red Sox in Big Papi's farewell glorious season. My confidence comes not just from reading newspapers, but from what your class of 182 soon-to-be lawyers has already accomplished. Consider the success of just one of your classmates, Colleen Shea, who has been awarded a Skadden Fellowship. For friends and families out there, this is like the Rhodes Scholarship for public interest lawyers. Colleen is just one of 28 fellows nationwide, and she will spend the next 2 years addressing the legal needs of low-income minority students with disabilities by working with the Disability Law Center here in Boston. Congratulations, Colleen. And Colleen is most definitely not alone in her triumph. Before reaching this milestone day, your class members have won the American Bankruptcy Institute's Medal of Excellence, the Law Student Ethics Award from the Association of Corporate Counsels Northeast Chapter, and been honored by the National Lawyers Guild. 4 members of the class have been awarded Equal Justice Works Fellowships. These are more like the Fulbrights, which provide 2 years of support for work in public interest organizations. One received the Parmet Fellowship to work at Health Law Advocates. One received the Washington State Attorney General's Office Fellowship, and another will join the U.S. Department of Justice Honors Program. Two of you have secured federal clerkships, and of course, every one of you has survived the perils of an SJ presentation. As a group, you have completed more than 270,000 hours of legal work at 703 placements, almost 20% of which you developed on your own. Your co-ops took you to 28 U.S. states and territories and 8 countries. 86% of you did at least one public interest co-op, and you ventured into almost every sort of professional setting. You have protected civil rights and civil liberties at the ACLU, the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights and Economic Justice, and numerous similar advocacy organizations. You have brought legal talent to healthcare organizations, ranging from a hospital in San Diego to medical device and drug delivery companies here in Massachusetts. You have been at the cutting edge protecting creativity in places ranging from Sony Entertainment to huge computer firms. You have traveled to Mexico, India, Australia, England, Germany, Jordan, Kenya, and the Philippines. You have worked at startups and large companies such as Reebok, Jazz at Lincoln Center, and WGBH, at labor unions and workers' rights centers, at law firms and with solo practitioners, with courts and prosecutors of every stripe. Through your hard work and dedication, you have made a positive impact on the clients you served and improved the reputation of the legal profession. In short, you came to Northeastern because you wanted to make a difference, and you are already doing so. So if the past is prologue, who could doubt that each of you will make your mark in every sector of our economy? You leave Northeastern with more legal experience than graduates of any other law school. Congratulations. We are proud of you. We are equally proud of another group of students earning a degree this year. This is the 4th graduating class of our Master of Laws program. You are the largest LLM class to date, 40 lawyers, 25 women and 15 men from the US, including Puerto Rico, and 19 other countries, from Pakistan to Peru and from Colombia to China. Newly represented countries in the class this year are Kenya, Georgia, Mexico, Egypt, Nepal, and Sierra Leone. And our LLM's diversity is more than geographical. While most of the class chose the general LLM program, 6 specialized in human rights, 6 focused on health policy and law, 2 opted for law and economic development, and 5 chose our new international business concentration. Over half the class entered the program with substantial work experience. The class includes a barista, who was also a blogger, an ordained priest, the founder of an NGO in support of children scarred by war, and the publisher of an online magazine focused on women's issues. The LLM students completed co-ops locally in Boston, Cambridge, Quincy, Waltham, Mansfield, Lowell, and Fall River, and further afield in New York and Sweden. We are proud to welcome you as well to the ranks of Northeastern alums. Please join me in congratulating the LLM class of 2016. Yet all these achievements are only part of the story of why your future is so bright. Consider also what you have learned. You have mastered the essential tools of translating individual stories of injustice into public language that might win relief for clients from all walks of life. You know now that when 2 parties have a serious disagreement, odds are good that both sides have a point. You know the difference between an argument and an assertion. You have learned that if a picture is worth 1,000 words, so too is a good example. You have honed the essential skill of teaching yourselves new material quickly and thoroughly. In short, you have learned to think like a lawyer. But far more important, each of you will be a Northeastern lawyer. Your family and friends who have joined you today deserve to know a bit about what that means. First, you, our proud graduates, have proven you are not afraid to get your hands dirty. You know from co-op that lawyers, not just libraries, are needed to solve the messy problems that life inevitably throws at people living and working together. Remember this throughout your career and always ask the hard questions that will unearth the root of the problems you are asked to solve. Second, you know that winning at all costs today can mean losing your shirt tomorrow. Our collaborative approach to education has emphasized the need to fight as hard as you can for your client or your cause, but to do so without cutting corners or breaching ethical rules. So if at times in your career it feels as if you have no choice but to cheat or lose, think again. Ask for help. But don't take what seems to be the easy way out. It won't be. Third, you understand that a lawyer's bread and butter does not come from providing mere technical advice. In the internet world, your clients can look up the basic law. You will make a living through devising creative approaches to delivering justice. Indeed, lawyers ultimately are in the justice business. The world needs us to facilitate cooperation that will make the pie grow for all. So be proud of your profession, and it will be good to you. In my final words to you as your dean, let me encourage you to add a 4th pillar to the idea of Northeastern lawyering. To do so, I need to tell you a quick story. In early April, I had the privilege of attending a reception celebrating General Electric's decision to bring its global headquarters to Boston. Governor Charlie Baker and Boston's Mayor Walsh were joined by our own graduate Attorney General Maura Healey among the attendees, and by GE's CEO Jeffrey Immelt at the podium. Mr. Immelt told the crowd that GE had chosen Boston because he felt Silicon Valley had cornered the market on the internet for the consumer. He hoped Boston would become the headquarters for the internet for industry. I thought that was an interesting concept. But in the press conference that followed, not a single reporter made any effort to discover what Mr. Immelt meant, focusing instead on how we could count on GE to stay here in Boston and to bring jobs, how the company might be getting too many tax increases and tax incentives, and how many square feet of office space it might use. This complete lack of interest in the substance of GE's work on the part of those charged with communicating the day's significance to the general public was a powerful lesson highlighting the growing divide between the scientific and business communities and those in arts, letters, and politics. I am counting on you as Northeastern lawyers to bridge this divide. That's one of the many reasons why I am so thrilled to have Attorney Tracy McCain here with us today. She has succeeded by mastering the science of drug discovery. Learn from her, because you won't be able to promote the social justice you have heard so much about here on our campus if you cannot master the languages of science and business that are at the center of much of today's economy. Lawyers who build the future will be those eager to know more science, business, and engineering, not less. I might say the same thing about presidential candidates. Oh, and for the record, Nadine Aubrey, our engineering dean, explained to me that Internet for Industry involves sending software from one site to another that permits the 3D printing of manufactured goods on site at the recipient's locale. Dirty hands, honest dealing, devotion to justice, and curiosity about disciplines outside of the law will serve you well as you seek to translate your legal education into a lifetime of fulfillment and accomplishment. But I can't in good conscience send you on your way without acknowledging the challenges ahead for all of us committed to democracy and the rule of law. Never in my lifetime has it been so acceptable for seemingly mainstream figures to voice hateful and bigoted comments targeting people based on race, religion, or gender. Whatever political party you might choose, we owe it to each other and to our profession to stand up to those who would divide our country along these lines. We weren't great when blacks and whites sat at separate lunch counters. We weren't great when my mother graduated from law school and firms wouldn't hire her because the men wanted to curse around the office. We weren't great when ramps and elevators were few and far between and those in wheelchairs could not board a public bus. We will be great when we find room in the fabric of American life to let each of us rise to whatever level our gifts and efforts can take us. As you use your legal education to participate in the development of American life, I urge you to remember this African proverb: if you want to walk fast, walk alone. If you want to walk far, walk together. And speaking of together, there is one more group deserving of congratulations. No one completes law school without a great deal of help. Assistance comes from parents and partners, from grandparents and siblings, from children, aunts, uncles, cousins, and in-laws, from friends and neighbors. These people have been cheering you on for years. Now that you have time to catch your breath, please take a moment to cheer them on by publicly thanking all those who pitched in to make this day possible. Finally, we have one last but very important thank you. Two of our faculty members are retiring at the end of this year. You'll hear more about one later, but for now I'd like us all to acknowledge Susan Sloan, who has been with us for 9 years, tirelessly working with students both in classes and individually to improve their writing. She will be missed by all of us who know her and understand the deep value of her contributions. Thank you, Susan. Class of 16, bravo. We will follow your path with interest. May the force be with you. I'd now like to introduce the first of our student speakers, Editor-in-Chief of the Northeastern University Law Journal, Andrew Justin Collins.